This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. It's tax season, and we're all a bit tired of numbers. But here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now here's a good number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it. Guaranteed. Save up to 40% your first year at LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about
comic books, costumes,
facts, boots,
and other stuff.
in this week's issue.
Spidey Super Stories. Welcome into Bros, Foes, and Heroes. I'm Zach, joined as always by the marvelous man himself, Mr. Mike.
I wanna sex your nut.
Oh man, that's a weird way to open it.
Yeah, it's a weird way to introduce yourself,
especially when nobody knows how we got
there's no context
anywhere
whatsoever.
to there.
You know, I tried real hard. Like,
It's Color Me Bad. Isn't that who sang?
I think so. I don't care enough to look.
It got into a conversation. Should we explain how it got there?
I don't
how
even
it involves
know,
a squirrel.
honestly. I don't know. Now, I will tell you that for a while, I was trying to do this no context Wednesday thing where I would send a picture to everyone here that works here.
You did do that.
It was just
I didn't realize it
ridiculous,
was a gag
stupid
that you
stuff.
do. It was stuff around your house.
I was trying to do like this no context thing, and I would send you these weird pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I kind of like I'm going to sex your nut as like a no context intro.
Yeah, but it also sounds very aggressive.
It does sound a little aggressive. Please can I sex your nut?
And
Is that
if,
better?
well, I'm just saying. And if this is somebody who like follows us and actually like
Yeah.
watches from show to show, they had to deal with Mason being aggressive. If your name was Aaron and you got yelled at, and then the first thing you come back with this one is you aggressively yelling.
Damn it, Jeff, settle down.
Anyway, this is Bros, Foes, and Heroes. I'm Zach. He's
Hi
Mike. And if you haven't watched us before, we get it. But also,
Hey there, ho there.
we're as happy as can be. What we are is we're a podcast.
Is that part of that?
Yeah. On the Mickey Mouse Club.
Oh, is that what it's from?
Yeah. Hey there, hi there, ho there, where
You know
is
what
up
I was
as
thinking? I
can
was
be.
thinking it was
M-I-C-K-E-Y.
Flanders.
No, that would be like, hey, like, you know.
Ho there.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why in my mind it would automatically went to.
I always say Oakley Dokley.
Skimpsons.
Oakley Dokley is the one that
Yeah.
I use. I know we've talked about Doris Day multiple times on this podcast throughout the years, which
Que sera, sera.
I know that song because of Ned Flanders. There's an episode of The Simpsons where like he is preparing this bomb shelter and they think there's going to be like this big fallout. And Ned ends up like welcoming everybody in for Springfield, but they are over capacity by one.
Yeah.
And so somebody has to leave. And Ned's kind of forced out of his own like bomb shelter. It's a typical kind of like Ned Flanders story
Yeah.
of like he's opening to everybody and he's paying the consequence.
Well, it's
you
like
know?
the Ark.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
exactly.
Yeah,
Except he's
it's-
out there
yeah.
and he's singing that though. And I remember as a kid,
Sera,
and then they all
sera.
sing it together, and that's how I know it first. And then I looked it up. I was like, "Oh, that's Doris Day." Anyway,
yeah.
what we are is we are a comic
She
book
loved that
podcast.
freaking song. I don't
Well,
know
it's
what
a
the deal
solid
was with that,
song.
but she loved
It is in my.
I guess
my
she
Spotify.
released it, right? So it's on your Spotify.
Like it's in my
Are you
Spotify
for
favorite.
real?
Yeah, hold on. I kid you not.
What
yeah.
is it followed by the American anthem? Is that what? Just a Star Spangled Banner over and over? What? Holy crap!
I was just
what a
saying.
playlist.
No, it's not like it's one of my favorite. I have a lot of songs that are favorited. Like I have over like 1,500
like
songs.
I really like that Doris Day
It's
song.
just
now.
if you put on shuffle, K Sarah by Doris Day might pop up.
I wonder what pops up next. Oh, Canada.
No, I don't have any anthems. We've told the story before. Well,
Have we?
We've talked
About Doris
before.
Day? And you have her on your
No.
Spotify?
No, but
I
just
think I would
how-
remember that.
Yeah,
I don't remember a lot, but
I'm
I think
sure
I
we've
remember
talked
that.
about. Anyway, we're a comic book podcast.
Hello,
if you haven't
everybody.
watched this before, where each week we either break down a comic book character, storyline, or like big kind of like story that's told,
Yeah.
or just kind of a collection of things like we're getting into today, as you'll see, and I'll explain a little bit more. It's something we've covered before in the past, and Mike loved. And Mike is going to actually, he doesn't know this yet. He is going to be able to give us a little bit more insight into this again.
Oh, boy.
Once we bring it up.
Oh, they get to hear the same story for the 9th time.
Well, no. We've only done this once before.
Okay.
We're talking about, different things. I would love to, before the Superman movie comes up, I can tell you things that are about to come up on your radar between now and July 11th. I can tell you that you can count on. You can count on us covering All-Star Superman between now and then.
Hiya.
It's a 12-issue story. I don't know if we're going to break it down and do it in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I'll figure that out, how in-depth we want to get. Anyway,
sure.
For Mike's birthday, I really wanted to do this, and so either next week or the week after, I didn't know if we wanted to do it before or after his birthday. I got to figure that out. But we're going to do Silver Surfer Parable, which is a story by Stanley and Mobius.
That's the Mobius one.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm very excited about that.
And so I know that Mike is a Mobius fan, so we're going to be able to cover that.
I haven't seen it in years,
okay.
so I may freaking hate it.
He was a Mobius
you know
fan, so we're going to look at some old Silver Surfer.
Yeah, it's the one that stuck with me.
And that also kind of ties in because we have the Fantastic Four movie coming out on the 25th of July.
Really?
Another thing, yeah. Another thing when I talked about characters, because I would love for us to. Do you know much about Guy Gardner?
Not a lot.
I don't really know a whole lot about Guy Gardner,
I hate all the Green
I would
Lantern.
like for us to potentially dive into Guy Gardner a little bit more at some point in time and look at
he'd probably like that
the
too.
bowl-cutted. I don't think he always has the bowl cut, but I know certain things about him. I know that in the 80s, he's a part of Justice League International. He is very kind of annoying, and he thinks that he is the leader of the Justice League while everybody else is out. And he gets into a bit of a argument over this with Batman, and Batman one punch knocks out Guy Gardner.
One Punch Batman.
In JLI in the 80s, and Keith Giffen's 80s, I'm pretty sure. Or Keith Giffen's JLI. But anyway, so that's what you can look forward to. I don't know. I'm reaching out at the camera, trying
Guy
to grab
Gardner,
it.
his whole thing is the ring, right? The ring is what gives him all the powers,
That's all the Green Lanterns, I mean.
right? It's just the ring.
Well, I know, but different things fuel their ring. I think Guy's is... Oh, I don't remember. I don't want to talk out of... But no, it is something I don't know if it's confidence, but it's his... somebody can help me out on that.
Well, the only reason I'm asking is because Batman one punches him. And
yeah,
so
well,
I'm
he's
thinking,
not using his powers against Batman.
Okay.
It's just a straight, if
Well, that's all I'm thinking.
The whole scene is he's being a jerk, and Batman just kind of walks over and just boom, and just kind of,
Okay.
But we're not talking about that today, Mike. We are going to stay on the Marvel side of things. I called you Marvelous for a reason. There is a certain web-slinging hero that I think we both love and admire.
Spooderman,
exactly.
Yeah, love him.
He thwips all over our hearts, and
sometimes ladies to death.
Sometimes ladies to death, thanks to his radioactive thwipping.
Radioactive wee juice.
Whoa. We should at least wait till 15 minutes in so we can make sure.
I did not say a bad word at all.
That's fine.
I didn't say any bad words.
Well, it's going to be really weird when you see what we're about to cover.
Okay.
I'm trying to create a little space, but we'll just get into this. So you might remember, and if not, I'll try to refresh your memory here.
Okay.
About a couple weeks ago. Oh, I was also going to say with things to come, we are in halfway through April. Well, almost at the end of April. In June of this month, that makes 4 years we've been doing the show. Mike.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Holy shnikes.
I think I want to cover another Black Condor.
Oh, that'd be great.
Or we cover Black Condor again.
Yeah. I think a revisit is
I think a revisit to Black Condor, which was our very first episode back in the day.
Black Condor.
And now I have video for us. So
hey, guess what, guys? I learned to fly. Okay, great, Black Condor.
Exactly. And that is where the Golly Con comes from for
does.
4 years.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoops.
It's all from the very first. Oh, that's okay. You haven't dropped an F-bomb yet. Give me at least 5 more minutes before you do that, and then we'll be fine.
Fugazi.
There you go. But what we are getting into that maybe you might remember, I'm sorry, let me get us back on track.
Yeah.
We covered at least once before are Spidey Super Stories.
Oh, yeah. Love those Electric Company stories.
Because these are stories that would appear on the Electric Company.
He's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
He is. I went back and I watched, because if you look at these on YouTube, you can
went
find
back
them.
and watched these?
I watched one. Oh, speaking of watched, buddy. Speaking
gross.
of watched, I didn't tell you. We have, and I think most people have over-the-air antennas. Some of the TV stations are the same across everywhere.
Yeah, sure.
I think a lot of people have a Me TV. We have I
have a TV.
Well, I'm just saying, I hardly ever watch anything over antenna anymore, but I do know of that there is a channel now that is all just cartoons. I'm very talking with my hands today.
Yeah.
Especially classic stuff. And so I love that if I sometimes put things on the
Deep.
I don't know about that to you. I don't even know if it picked up. But I like to have like just stuff on the background sometimes when I'm playing with the little guy.
Yeah, sure.
Like he's not necessarily. I don't have it. He can't like see it. It's
So
just
you have
on for like
cartoons on in
noise.
the background?
And I'll put on old ones
Oh,
sometimes.
that's cool.
And Super Friends came on.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
I thought
With
of
the
you.
eyelid.
I thought of you. I told the eyelid story.
Yeah.
But
That's
I
how
thought
you get
of
it out
you.
your eyeball.
And I didn't realize Casey Kasem voiced Robin on that too, didn't he?
I believe he did. You keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars, says Casey Kasem.
I feel very big next to Spider-Man right now. I don't know. That is what he says. And then he also says, but first, this song goes to Linda, whose dog just passed away.
This
She wants
song
to be-
goes
yeah.
to Linda, whose
Hey, it's
dog
Casey
just passed
Kasem.
away.
But we want you to know that I don't know
He's
why.
in dog heaven now, looking down on you, Linda. And here is Put On Your Boogie Shoes.
I don't know why he always did that. Got so happy for things that did not
Yeah,
need to be happy
that wasn't
about.
even close to a Casey Kasem sound.
A sound, but it was just
it's
him
the general
being,
spirit.
of him being
Yeah.
gleeful for things that did not need to be gleeful
Yeah,
about. But
yeah.
also, here's
Love those pieces.
Rubber Band Man.
Here's Rubber Band Man for the 135th time.
Let's get into Spidey Super Stories as seen on the Electric Company. Okay? We are definitely just focusing on the ones that we're also seeing on the Electric Company.
Fantastic.
What I was saying when I said that I was watching one of those was,
There's too
I
many
went and I watched-
Spider-Men on the screen.
There
Look
are-
at that. There's 3 total.
Oh.
There's a face, there's one in the corner, and there's one swinging around this pirate ship or whatever the hell it is.
It's a circus because it says
It's
the circus
yeah,
of crowd.
yeah. He's fighting Bullethead.
But remember, Morgan Freeman was on the Electric Company.
Well, that's him down in the corner.
It is he's Easy Reader. Which if you didn't know, so the Electric Company, that's what I was gonna say we're gonna know.
It's a ridiculous start for that man.
Easy, yeah, but his name is Easy. It was
Yes, I
Easy
think
Reader,
it was
right?
Easy Reader, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's what I was gonna say, Mike. Before we get into these, please, if you don't know, I was gonna say the Electric Company was kind of like Sesame Street, but there
Kinda.
weren't puppets.
Yeah. It was just for a little bit older crowd, is what it was. It was like preteen, that kind of thing.
You say that though, but all of these Spider-Man Super Stories are Easy Reader says this comic book is easy to read,
Yeah.
and I don't feel like this is preteen material
Preteens
though.
were very stupid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I love about this cover?
Hmm.
It ruins the entire story because basically this is the end because it says Spider-Man did it. He stopped the human cannonball. Okay, I don't even need to read it. Done.
All right. Well, the beauty of this is the thing about these is it has introduced us to some of Spider-Man's little-known rogues gallery that is very colorful and very, very fantastic. The last time we covered these, we were introduced to such villains as the Wall. Do you remember? And Mr. Measles.
I love Mr. Measles
And
because he would throw measles out of a bag.
He
at
did.
people.
He threw measles out of a bag of people.
He should make a comeback nowadays.
And
Since we have the big measles outbreak.
We should. Let me try to center myself too. And there was the Tickler.
The Tickler.
And the Funny Bunny. Remember the evil Easter
I do
Bunny?
remember the evil Easter Bunny, yeah.
So we had
but
4
the
of them.
Tickler, that one should also make a comeback, but maybe just on OnlyFans.
Oh, okay. No, that's
You know
that's
what?
I watched. Did we talk about this? Where we watched a documentary about tickling? Did you watch a
No.
documentary about tickling?
No, I didn't watch a documentary about tickling. Good God, you asked me these questions, and I'm like, no, I would remember that.
I watched it years. No, we've talked about it. I know we have. Maybe not
A
on the show.
documentary about tickling.
It's not like the history of tickling. No, it's about these.
One day,
No. This guy
Gorf
found.
walked up to Junks
No.
and said, "Booka booka." The end. History of tickling.
No, it's like this guy that
Yeah.
comes across this like competitive tickling video.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, maybe we
See?
did. Competitive tickling. Now we're
yes,
talking.
and he finds out that it's like
Yeah.
it's these like former athletes who like get just paid this money
Mm-hmm.
to like go and be like tied down and just tickled, and they're told like these videos won't be, and it's really, you remember that now?
Yeah, and it's terrible.
This
That
took a
shouldn't
really
be
weird
thing.
turn. Let's get over that anyway.
You know what I always wondered? Let me bring this up just real quick.
Yeah.
I always wondered, was there a thing with Marvel and the Electric Company, because they always called him.
I would think so.
No, what I'm saying is they always called him like Spidey or stuff like that instead of Spider-Man. And I wonder if that was like a copyright thing or what it was.
I think so. Let's look this up real quick.
Yeah, that's kind of what I assumed, that maybe copyright held the entire name. You know, the Amazing Spider-Man. They were never going to call him that because that was the name of a comic book. You Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. They say that sometimes, but more often than not, Easy Reader would call him Spidey, which I always found kind of.
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
says here. It says it just tells you the overview that Spidey Super Stories was a series of recurring live-action segments. So essentially, what Marvel is doing is Marvel make comic
Action is
books.
stretching it just a
Yeah,
bit. but
Marvel would make comic books that were like these easy story thens for
Yeah.
that audience, and they would
Right.
call it the Spidey Super Stories, the same thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they would take then once each comic book, they would take a story that appeared on the show, and they would like animate it kind of and make
Right.
it a story in the comic. And those are the ones we were focusing on. I found the thing here, and I'm trying to see if it
The
says
Spider-Man on the show, he looked like he couldn't lift like 50 pounds.
He looks-
like
he-
he's so scrawny.
he does look really bad.
Yeah.
I really see. Yeah, Marvel Comics printed a comic book version of Spidey Super Stories, which we're covering. That we're gonna feel really bad when we make fun of these, but I don't care.
I'm not.
Designed for 6 to 10-year-olds from 1974 to 1982.
That's what I said. Idiots. 6 to 10. They're idiots. Kids are stupid.
Oh man. Anyway, Mike, you being a grandpa, you would think it'd be nicer.
Oh, my grandkids are idiots too. So yeah.
Oh, okay. So let's go ahead.
Kids, they're all idiots.
Wow.
They're supposed to be though.
No, they're supposed to be. Well, until they
Teach
learn, I get that. Fair
The
enough.
children, well, God, I hate that song.
All right, let's get into the
Hey,
first.
look at that.
Let's get into our first
evil
Spider-Man
Dr.
villain that you
Fly.
might not know about, and that would be the evil Dr. Fly. And what we have here is the story that we are going to cover, as I'm trying to find and
Just
give
a
credit.
dude dressed like a fly
That-
and not well.
No, he is not dressed like a fly.
Because he just has.
He is an
stripy
actual
pants.
fly.
He is?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, this is written by Gene Thomas, penciled by Win Mortimer, and inker is Mike Esposito. It is
I've heard
also
Esposito. The other ones I have not heard of.
it is also based on the Electric Company script by Thaddeus Mumford.
It's based on Push by Sapphire.
So, and these are all very short comics. So these stories, this is going to be a shorter episode for us
Yeah,
this
that's
week.
all right.
What you see,
People only take so much.
I know, the evil Dr. Fly is half
gonna-
man. He's half man, half fly, and evil.
He's half
So-
man, half fly.
And evil. Don't know where that
and
fits in.
evil.
But he's making a magic potion. And why do you make it? He's making this magic potion that's going to
It's
turn.
a big leap.
Yeah,
You know, magic potion. Big leap.
it is. But it's going to turn the whole world, or the whole world will be crawling insects. Like he's going to turn people into insects
I like how he has an envelope full of flies that says flies.
and fleas. But how do you turn people into insects? By making them eat insects in a magic potion.
Practice, practice, practice.
So that's all it is. Well,
Wait, you turn people into insects by making them eat insects?
I'm just saying, like his magic potion includes fleas and flies.
Oh, no.
So
And then he said perhaps I added too much salt.
he does say that because he's
This
got a
is
sense of
dumb.
humor too. So
Wow.
Dr. Fly makes a magic potion full of fleas and flies.
You're
and he
telling
might
me
have
I
added
should
too much
feel
salt.
bad because this was actually made for intelligent kids. That's why I should feel bad about this? I mean, come on. The dude said perhaps I added too much salt to my flies and fleas. Come on.
Anyway,
Oh, man, look at that guy's afro.
meanwhile, well, he's got to cover up that giant fly eye.
He's got those giant sunglasses, too. That's great.
He looks like, what is the fly guy from Ninja Turtles? You know what I'm talking
Fly
about?
guy.
No, it's like
There's something wrong with that hot dog he's trying to peddle there for
well,
30
yeah.
cents.
So that's the thing. So his giant plan
oh, it's full
is
of flies and fleas.
he's putting the magic Baxter Stockman, the fly person thing. Anyway, he's putting the magic potion in the hot dogs. Like, that's how he's going to sell it to the public.
Yeah.
He's going to sell hot dogs filled with his insect potion. So he's, like, injecting them in there. But that's the thing. He has this giant afro.
It's a very specific audience. Only the ones that'll eat hot dogs off the street from a guy in an orange afro with giant sunglasses.
But he has the afro pulled over his head to cover his giant flies. But it doesn't matter because Spidey senses are tingling. My Spidey sense tells me something is lousy, is what he says.
Oh, my God.
And he looks, and this guy comes by, and Dr. Fly goes, "Sir, you look hungry." And he's, "Oh, boy, I am hungry." And he goes and he, like, gives him a hot dog.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes and he's about to bite it. He puts mustard on the hot dog in case you're curious.
Oh, thank God.
And he goes, "And so it looks like Dr. Fly's evil plan will work unless. And about that time, Spider-Man swings down and just kicks the hot dog out of the guy's hands. And then he goes,
That's a T-shirt right there. Him kicking a hot dog out of a guy's hand, and
goes,
the bad
"Hey,
guy just going, "Oh no, it's
Spider-Man."
Spider-Man." Yeah.
But as Dr. Fly takes off running, easily and comically, the sunglasses and afro just fly off. And he goes, "Oh, yes, Dr. Fly." And he just webs him down. And he goes, "Don't flee
Holy
so fast."
Shoot, that is the end
Yeah,
already?
I'm telling you.
Oh, my God.
When it says in a very short comic book,
Oh.
it doesn't lie. So that's
These were easily like 2
3 minutes, 3 minutes.
Yeah, 2-minute segments, something like that on Electric
Like,
Company.
I got 5 of these for you.
Oh,
So,
wow. Okay, well, he defeated Dr. Fly by kicking a hot dog.
and then he just, well, no, we're not done with the issue.
Oh,
though.
so sorry.
And he just webs him down. And he's like, "Don't flee so fast, or so fast, Fly," because it's Spider-Man. Thanks to Spider-Man, the evil Dr. Fly is trapped in his plans, and so nobody gets turned into an insect. And Spider-Man's standing over there by the cart, and he's just pushing it. And the cop comes by and goes, "Nice work, Spider-Man. But do you have a permit?"
Ask him if he has a freaking permit to push a hot dog cart.
He does. And he goes, "No, I'm a superhero, like not a salesman." And he's like, "Well, sorry, you got to have a permit to push the cart. See you in court." And he hands him a ticket. And he goes, "But thanks again for the good work, Spider-Man." And Spider-Man just goes, "Why me?" And that's how it ends. Spider-Man has a ticket now for illegally
Well, you have to
selling
go to
hot
court.
dogs.
Because all he did was touch the hot dog cart. How dare you?
Such is life being Spider-Man.
Oh, boy.
So
He's got to go home and tell Mary Jane all about it.
Oh, yeah, I got to go to court. Why? I touched a hot dog cart.
Touched a hot
What?
dog cart. Well, see, nobody gave me any crap when I kicked it out of that guy's face. But when I touched the cart, that was the big deal.
That was one too far.
Oh, boy.
So our next one here. All right.
Oh, this is a two-parter.
No. Oh, that's
You got him versus Lizard Boy, and then
the
you've
lizard.
got Valerie and Easy Rider
Easy face the
facing the
Vanisher.
Vanisher. Yeah.
But we're not worried about those stories.
Easy Rider, Easy Reader. Easy Reader.
Easy Reader. This is so that was
What a
issue
play
number
on
3
words.
of Spidey Super Stories. We're now looking at issue number 7 of Spidey Super
boy.
Stories, where we look at Spidey as he jumps the thumper.
Why is she dressed like the guy from McDonald's who wants to sell you a McFish or whatever it's called? She's dressed like the Captain Hook or whatever from McDonald's.
Here's what you're gonna find out. We're gonna have a lot of the same.
She knows what you did last summer.
We're gonna have a lot of the same creative teams on these, but this is Spidey.
No shit.
This is
Because they
Spidey.
made them all in one day.
Well, I'm just saying art-wise, like you would think the team who drew it.
I'm having a hard time drawing Spider-Man's face. Oh, I got you, man. It's fine. We'll just have her punch him.
So the writer is Gene Thomas again. Our penciler is also Win Mortimer.
Is that the lady from Golden Girls?
B. Arthur?
Jean Thomas?
Gene Thomas?
Was she
Not
in,
this
was
Gene
she in Golden
Thomas.
Girls?
I don't think so. This Gene Thomas is a linker, and it also brings
Is a linker?
like he links to somewhere else.
Okay.
She worked with she's Roy Thomas's ex-wife.
Oh.
Remember who the Captain Carrot that we covered last week?
Yeah.
Ryder Roy Thomas?
God, what a happy household this must have been.
There we go.
What are you working on this week? Well, I got this giant anthropomorphic rabbit that fights freaking Easter eggs. What are you working on? I got some chick dressed like the fish salesman who's punching Spider-Man in the face. Okay, great.
Basically.
What do you want for supper?
Oh,
Meatloaf
man. She wrote 28 different things, though.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she
wrote
did
them all
like,
in one weekend, though. Look at this. I mean, it's 2 minutes.
So here's what she did. She wrote for Marvel Spotlight. She wrote an issue of Night Nurse.
Night Nurse?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she wrote a bunch of different of Spidey stories.
Mm.
There's some other stuff in there.
She had so many ideas.
Anyway, But this one also Mike Esposito's an inker again, but so is Tony. Tony Mortellaro.
Tony Mortellaro.
Oh, letterer is Art Simic, who lettered a lot of the Fantastic Four stuff for Jack Kirby and Stan Lee.
God, he must have thought, look at my career.
Yeah,
look at the arc.
At that point, I'm seeing you letter so much stuff. I would think that you take any work you get.
Hey, I would take it to somebody and go, "Is this right? Thumps the Thumper? That's what I have to put?"
Yeah, and they'd be like, "Yeah," and he's like, "All right." Also, it's based on the Electric Company script by Tom Whedon. I wonder if it's Electric to
Josh's.
Joss, yeah.
Joss's
or Will. Oh, that's Wheaton, isn't it? Never mind.
Yeah.
So when the Thumper didn't get a yellow pony for her birthday, she got angry, Mike, and she turned to a life of crime. Let me repeat that again. When the Thumper didn't get a yellow pony for her birthday, she got very angry and turned to crime. And then she dressed as the great French hero Napoleon.
So she dresses like Napoleon, and she's got a boxing glove where she thumps people on the head with it.
The Thumper,
that's the whole thing because she didn't get a pony.
Thumper looks for someone to thump. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So
I'm thinking one good punch to her face, she's done. Right?
Maybe. Well, some poor guy gets off the bus and goes, "I'm lost, sir. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street?"
Oh my God.
And she goes, "Yeah, go left 3 blocks, and then you go right, thump down to the ground."
She gave him a right to the back of the head. You coward.
Will the fearful thumping never stop?
The fearful thumping.
Yeah. But there's still hope. Our friend Spider-Man senses danger. And Spider-Man comes down. He's like, "Excuse me."
I think there's danger. I see Napoleon down there thumping people.
And he gets thumped. He does. Right? And you're like, "What a thump." Oh, I know it was the Thumper. But don't worry. Using his last bit of spider power, he uses he slings his Spidey webs. And then you see her wrapped up like a cocoon. And he goes, "Let me go." And he goes, "No, I have a surprise for you. Until that web melts, sit there and rock on this yellow pony." And she's just happy and goes, "At last." She just rocks back and forth.
If I have told one person that, I've told 1,000.
Yeah, and then
sit there and rock on this yellow pony.
And then Spider-Man swings away with the bump on his head. And it just says, "So Spider-Man heads home wearing his gift from the Thumper. What a bump." The end.
So she's wrapped up in a cocoon on a yellow rocking horse, and he's got a big old egg on his head, and he leaves.
The end.
Great. Okay. Wow. These are rough, man. These are rough. What's wrong with Spider-Man's crotch in that picture, by the way?
All the blood went to the bump on his head.
Oh, that's it. That'll do it. Doc Ock.
Yeah, but we're not focusing on Doc Ock here. No, we're now, as we jump from issue 7, we jump to issue 11 here.
The Flapper.
No, but
the Fiddler.
We're close to that. What we're going to introduce you to is
the Showstopper.
The Showstopper.
Okay. All right.
We don't know who wrote this one. It doesn't tell me what script it's based off of on the Electric Company, but it does tell me here that tell me if you're surprised by this. Writer Gene Thomas, penciler Win Mortimer, inkers Mike Esposito and Tony Mortello.
They were locked in a closet.
Letterer Art Simic and editor AJ Hayes. Well, this is months later though.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Yeah, like this is May. Yeah, this
Stanley. He's like,
I
knew you'd be back.
This is still 4 months later since the last time we've done this, but this is the Showstopper here for this gang. I'm the Showstopper. I'll make sure your show never goes on.
This girl has decided she's the Showstopper. That's her origin story.
No, we have an origin story for her.
Okay.
Are you ready?
All right, great.
Okay, here's her origin story. Rita now is locked, and she's like, all right, I'm going to make sure this show's over for good. Once the Showstopper was a girl.
Wait, Rita is
the old director.
Rita is locked up. Now what? What does that mean?
Like Rita's the director.
Rita's in jail?
Rita's locked
she
in
just
the
pushed
closet.
her in the closet. Got it.
Rita,
okay, I'm so sorry. These are so hard to follow.
Sorry. I know. I'm trying to stay with
so
you, Mike.
detailed.
Once the Showstopper was a girl who tried out for the school play, but she didn't get the part.
That's it, isn't it?
And
that's the whole thing.
And the guy goes, "Sorry, kid." So she went to work backstage, which is admirable. You don't get the part. You're going to go help out with the production still.
Sure.
And he tells her, like, "Don't feel bad, kid. The show must go on." As she's very sadly holding a flower.
Yeah.
And then the Showstopper goes, "Don't be so sure." And that's when, if I can't be the star, then nobody's going to be the star, is what she essentially says. And then so she turned to a life of crime, stopping shows everywhere.
So that's it. She just stops shows.
That's what she does. She stops shows. How does she stop this show, Mike? Cue card shenanigans. She holds up a cue card that says swing. Here's also her blonde pigtails.
Yeah.
For people who aren't watching.
Sticking right out.
So Rita has short black hair. This director that she has just come and just randomly pushed into her room to lock away has short black hair and like a, what do you call those? Like a fet, or the hat's a beret?
A beret. Yeah.
So short dark hair and a beret.
Not raspberry, but
she's wearing the same thing like a wig that's supposed to match, but her blonde pigtails are sticking out underneath it.
She looks insane.
And nobody can tell.
She's holding a card that says swing, and Easy Reader says, dig that cue card, but I'm a reader, not a swinger.
Oh, no. What's going to happen? He tries to swing anyway.
I remember this dude, too.
And he swings, and he goes top to bottom, left to right. What is that swinging stuff is out of sight. And he crashes on the floor and hurts himself. Then the showstopper holds up another cue card that says dance and says, Fargo, read the card. And Fargo says, I only decode. I don't dance. And she gets angry. And she's like, do what the card says, you jackass, kind of. And he's like, okay, boss, I'll dance. And in the process, I'm guessing he's like probably had to do with words of some sort, or like,
this guy was a knockoff of Inspector Clouseau, like Pink Panther guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he would inspect words and phrases.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So as Fargo goes to dance, he taps. See, I told you, he splats as well. I don't dance. Well, all this is making Spider-Man's Spidey senses tingle. And there's
You mean all the shit that's going on here, and Spider-Man staring at it and going, oh, something's wrong.
Yeah, that's what's causing his spider's sense to go. And then she holds up a card that says throw, and so somebody's throwing eggs at the chef. And then about that time, Spider-Man goes, but wait, that's not our director. That's the showstopper, as he finally notices her blonde hair sticking out the back.
No.
So he uses his web to get her cue cards away from her, and she takes off running to try to get away. And Easy Rider throws the curtains on her, which brings her down. And she's like, I'm sorry, don't cut me out. Like, she's sad. And Rita breaks free from her closet and is finally like, guys, we got to go on in 5 minutes. Rita doesn't care about everything that's happened. She's more concerned about the show. And Rita stops and goes, hey, what a voice. I'll give you a part. And then they let the showstopper sing with them as they all say, we're going to turn it on. Is this the song? Where does it say we're going to turn it on?
I thought. There it is.
There we go. Okay. So they're all singing that there. Is that? Yeah. I didn't realize this was the Hey You Guys from the Goonies?
Yeah, it's kind of like that one, yeah. This was way before it.
So there you go. That was the end of that one.
But if you didn't know that song, when they start singing "We're Gonna Turn It On," that just seems insane. I have no clue. Yeah, it seems insane.
We're going to turn it on.
It's like, what the hell is that? Okay, great.
Damn. Okay.
Well, that's showbiz.
See, I'm making sure you don't know what I'm.
Why is she still like? What? I don't understand why didn't he do something with her?
She wanted to be a part of the show.
I get that. Well, they all want to be a criminal, or they all want to do this, or they all want to do that. The thumper just wants to thump.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to turn it on.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the power.
Oh, is that the next one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We now come to, we only got 2 more, Mike. I know.
Oh, it's Craven.
That is. And Falcon. You would love to hear a story about Craven and Falcon, wouldn't you?
Boy, I love the team up.
We're not going to cover either.
Well, I love the Super Zoo. Also,
we're going to cover
the
Wake Up Weapon.
So we had a thumper, a showstopper, and a sitter.
Yeah.
And then the first one was what? Hot dog kicker?
Dr. Fly.
Dr. Fly, yeah. Well, that one actually sounds like a bad
Hear
guy.
me out. I should have added another one, and we could have had a new Sinister Six. But this is the next Spider-Man. I'm pitching the next Spider-Man movie. These should be the villains.
I would love that if it was the sitter and the showstopper.
The sitter. So stop me if you've heard this, Mike. This was, hold on. This was in July of 75.
Uh-huh.
The creative team, writer Gene Thomas, penciler Win Mortimer, inker Mike Esposito, and Tony Mortellaro. I feel like I'm butchering that, and I'm sorry, Tony. Letterer Art Simic and editor A.J. Hayes.
You know what you did, Tony.
But it is based on the Electric Company TV script by Sarah Compton. So, yeah, wake up, webhead. Today you meet the sitter.
The sitter.
So, after a hard day, Spidey's at a dinner. And instead of Peter wanting to have dinner at home by himself, he's sitting in a diner just looking at a menu.
How does he get food in his mouth?
I guess he lifts it up and just eats through it.
Okay.
Oh, and he's
lots of soup.
He's thinking.
He just pours it right through the mask.
Well, that's what he's thinking while he's looking at the menu. Something simple. Soup, maybe. So it might be. But
hot dog.
Yeah, it says, yes, Spidey, you better order something simple. It's going to be a very busy evening. And it's very fortuitous about what happens, of course. Because it says, meanwhile, at some apartments upstairs, and the doorbell goes off, and the kids run to let it in, and nobody really pays attention because the kid just says, Mom, it's the sitter, and the mom's running, and she says, I'm late, and I feel like somebody should notice that it's a man, obviously, dressed up as an old woman.
Yeah, I think the mustache gives it away.
Yeah, he's refusing to shave his mustache, but I guess so you don't have to worry about that. She just goes, if you need anything, just help yourself. And he's like, oh, don't worry. Like she hides her back to him.
Don't worry, I will.
Is that what we think that's the voice? That it's like, okay.
Well, it's got to be like Robin Williams-esque, right? It's got to be like
But his Mrs. Doubtfire was a British woman.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
It wasn't.
Maybe that explains the mustache.
What's his friend, the makeup artist that helps him at the beginning? Like he could sound like that.
Sally Goforth? I don't know, man.
No, the raspy voiced guy.
Oh, you're talking about oh shit, what is his?
I'm just saying that's the voice he could have.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Don't worry, I will.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Would you kids like to play hide and seek?
Oh, God.
Like
it sounds
that?
like such a creeper when you do it like that.
Would you kids like to play hide and seek?
That's what I think the sitter sounds like. So
Get my van.
So that is the voice I'm going to do
ruined
for
my
the rest
throat.
of this comic. Well, I'm going to ruin mine for the rest of it. And they're like, you bet, great. And he's like,
You go hide.
and so they all run off. What was that? Your throat?
Some dude leaves his makeup here, and you know exactly who this dude is.
Yeah.
But there's always like makeup left. This is what you get when you hire ex-TV people. They bring their own makeup.
Well, we're not like shaming people who want to wear makeup.
I'm shaming this particular man. Yes.
And it's not. No, it's not. Like if you're a man who wants to wear makeup, that's fine.
Oh, I don't care. This guy though, you understand. It's just this one guy.
I get what you're saying.
Just this one guy. Yeah.
Fine. Okay. Anyway,
If you want to wear makeup out there, kids, wear makeup. Who cares?
just
right?
not.
Nobody
glitter.
cares. Just not this guy. Yeah.
Just not glitter.
Mm-hmm.
Mike does not like glitter.
No,
and
I hate
he
glitter.
will speak out against
Hate it.
glitter.
Hate glitter.
And he goes, and
I'll seek all the goodies in the house.
It's just so gross.
I don't know how else. I thought that's what we were going for. I can
Yeah.
change it. Should
No,
I
it's
change?
fine. It's
Okay.
fine. I'm just saying I
So-
don't understand why these kids are falling for
So
it.
the sitter is dragging this heavy ass bag now down the street where
Full of
Spider-Man,
kids.
whatever they got or he got that was simple is
He's
just sitting
just
there with
dragging
coffee.
he's just dragging a bag of wiggling kids,
And that's it.
right?
And Spidey sensors are going off like, looks like kids in the bag as he's just sitting there sipping his coffee. But Spider-Man
Through his mask.
Yeah, out the window. And he comes out and he goes, someone needs my help. And he walks over and he's like, oh, what's in this bag?
It's a heavy sweater I'm making for my.
It's a heavy sweater.
It's a heavy sweater I'm making for my grandson. It's gonna be the fall soon. It'll be chilly. Taxi, put on a sweater.
Your granny should make you one too, Spidey. And just like smacks him on the face. And he's like, thank you, ma'am. You know, like you look like you could use it. And, or maybe
You look like you could use it.
Why is she wearing a coffee filter on her head? You see that?
I do. I think it's supposed
Looks
I
like
don't
a
know.
Coffee filter.
I don't know what that's supposed to be. About that time, the woman who the sitter
Yeah.
was working for comes running out and goes,
The
Spider-Man,
mother, as
I've
she's
been ripped
otherwise
off. The mother. I've been ripped off. My sitter took all the silver. That's why it was so heavy.
Oh, she didn't take the kids.
And no.
I
and
thought it
then-
was a bag of kids.
I wanted her to take the kids. She took the silver. But she's like, oh, no, that was the sitter. Spider-Man puts it together and then finally.
Just now he puts it together.
He does. Oh, man, I don't want to go to the next page too quickly because it's ruin it. But still, he goes, even a superhero can give, but will ever catch this? But
Oh
she
my
asks,
God.
Yes, how will we ever catch the sitter?
Dear Lord.
This is why I included this story, Mike. So, yes, here's how. As you can see, or as you can't see if you're listening, their giant plan is Spider-Man is going to pretend to be a baby. And so we see Spider-Man with the little like shawl, or what would you call it? Yeah, like a bonnet tied around his head, pretending to be Spider Baby in a crib.
It's still the mask.
It is now easy. I'm assuming this is also Easy Rider.
Again,
still.
the criminal has a giant mustache.
The criminal still has a giant mustache, but Easy Rider, I think that's who that's supposed to be.
I don't think so.
It is.
No.
Okay.
Easy Reader.
Easy Reader.
No, I don't think so.
I assumed that it was that they're using at some point in time just other cast members.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying like they're making Morgan Freeman pull double duty here. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Well, that's Valerie, right? The other one's Valerie, the one that they were talking about earlier.
Yeah. Oh, so maybe it's just another guy who played Valerie's. I don't know. I never watched Electric Company. I assumed that it's like 3 people and they all having to pull a lot of roles.
They never plugged a damn thing in.
Look the other
way.
The
entire show. Oh well, I'm looking over here.
Yeah. Well, then here I'll just forget.
Yeah, that's it. They never plugged anything in.
Oh.
The whole Electric Company, never.
Really, never.
Yeah, didn't understand that.
Huh.
Oh, that baby is beautiful.
Well, no, that's the thing is they just charge people. They don't have to plug things in at the Electric Company.
Yeah, back then we had to.
So their plan is, you hide with our baby in the closet. So they have the mother hide with the baby in the closet, and the dad answers the door and goes, "Boy, is the sitter in for a surprise? All right, make yourself at home. It won't be long." And the sitter, "This is one easy job, taking candy from a baby."
A baby.
And about that time,
Gucci goo.
"You're no baby, and you're no sitter." As Spider-Man leaps out, I don't know how he fit in.
Well,
that
that's what I'm saying. What happened to
bassinet.
his knees?
I don't know. He went away. "I'll bag you yet, Spider-Man." But
that's the plan. I'm going to put you in this big bag.
That doesn't happen. He swings the bag, and Spider-Man moves and just whips him and just covers him in web. And then the parents come back in the bag. I don't know.
No. I was going to say, what in a weird turn, Spider-Man takes payment for this job and takes their baby, which is really odd. I mean, it's like a whole Rumpelstiltskin thing at the end here.
And then the parents leave, and he goes, "I'm taking the house too. I'll think about giving it back in a year. Be gone." And that's how it ends. No, the parents decide to go out, and Spider-Man then has to babysit since he caught the sitter, and that's how it ends.
I like how this traumatic thing has happened, and the parents are like, "Well, we still got to go dancing."
Hey, we still got those tickets to the opera.
All right. Thundra breaks loose.
Are you ready? Are you ready for our last one?
Yeah.
Do you think we're going to talk about Thundra?
No.
No, we're not. We're also going to advance 2 years. The last one we did was in 1975. This one's from April of 1977.
2 years. 2 years of this.
Mike, it lasted till 82.
Oh, my God.
So we're going to talk about Humbugged.
Humbugged.
David Dinger in concert.
Oh, I love David Dinger.
Oh, no, I forgot the words. What I'll do. I'll tell you about that in a second. I will let you know that this is based on an Electric Company script by Tom Dunsmuir. And also, I got some sad news. This was written by Ralph Macchio and not that Ralph Macchio, different comic
Ralph Macchio Sr.
Comic Ralph.
Yeah.
I think it's spelled. I think it's said differently.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it does.
Makiko.
It might be Macchio.
Macchio.
Macchio. I don't know. But Ralph Macchio.
You know, most people don't know, but this is based on an original LSD freakout is what this was. Somebody took too much, and they said, "Humbugged."
No.
And then they wrote a story.
Maybe.
Dinger.
He's written like over 2,000 different things. Like
really?
He's known
Still
for a lot of
alive?
stuff. Yeah, no, he wrote a lot of Daredevil, X-Men, Fantastic. Like he's a comic book writer for a long time.
We should send him something just to publicly shame him about this.
But who also wrote it with him was Colfax Mingo.
God bless you.
I think that's a badass name.
Oh, it is a great name.
Who only wrote 6 things. Let's look at what Colfax wrote.
Colfax Mingo said, "I am better than this," and he took off.
1, 2. All 6 are Spidey Super Stories appearances.
That'll teach you. Right there.
But also, you were sad. Let me help you out a little bit. Penciler Win Mortimer, which we find out is short for Winslow. Winslow Mortimer.
Okay.
Yeah. Inker is Mike Esposito. Our letterer is Ray Holloway. And then our editor is still AJ Hayes. So let's go ahead and get into our last
So
story
if
here.
this went until 82, they were actually selling these things. Like, people were buying these.
Yeah. Or, I mean, I guess well enough. Maybe they couldn't tell at the time. Like,
This is like a comic book you find at the dentist. You know?
maybe that's who was buying them.
That's what I'm saying. That's what this feels like.
So let me tell you about David Dinger here, who's very much dressed like the 70s style that he's in.
He's dressed like Tobias Funke
He
from
is.
Arrested Development.
He
He blew himself.
What was he?
Never
He was
knew.
an analysis and a therapist. He was
Yeah.
an analorapist.
Said anal rapist.
Yeah, on his card. Yeah.
Yeah.
But humbugged.
And
Oh
he
no,
had-
I
he
forgot
had
the
the
words.
never nude.
He was a
could
never
never be
nude.
naked.
Yep.
Yeah. Never nude.
He blew himself. You really got to carry a tape recorder around with you, buddy. That's what I remember.
Yeah,
Then
that's
Michael,
right.
yeah, he's like, I blew myself for nothing. And I was like, you really got to carry a tape recorder around with you.
That's a good show.
It is. So what happens to David Dinger when he can't forget his words? Once there was a rock singer with a terrible memory, and he thinks, I'll hum the song. And
This
so he
balding
starts
guy in a turtleneck is a rock singer.
with a terrible memory.
Hmm.
His name was David Dinger.
Uh-huh.
So
But he
he
goes
goes,
by.
I'll hum the song instead. And the crowd really dug David's humming.
Oh.
And they're like, oh, wow, how original is that? He's something else. So he changed his name from David Dinger to Humdinger.
Yeah.
He's the greatest. He's the latest.
He's the Hummer.
Fame came. He is the Hummer. Well, you know what? People usually like Hummers, Mike. So fame came suddenly. And he's like,
So did the Hummer.
and he's like, And they're like, oh, this is wild, but I love it, is what he says. And the girl's even like, eek, I touched him.
Eek.
They're so happy to touch Humdinger, right?
His nipples vibrate.
And suddenly fame went. Oh, how humdrum. How boring. And they start throwing.
How hum?
Yeah.
Ho
Ho-hum.
hum. I was like, how hum?
Ho-hum.
What?
How boring. They throw like a lemon and a tomato
Yeah.
and lettuce. And it plops, splats, and ploops on them. Or plops, I guess. It's multiple plops.
Plop, plaps, and ploops. I've been plooped. Well, that's not too far for Spidey.
Please
Like,
don't- please
oh
don't
no,
ploop.
it's the plooper.
Maybe that was
Dear God, not the blooper.
maybe that was the last issue that Colfax Mingo did.
He said, I'm not doing anymore.
I'm
after
not doing the blooper. But he's like, where did everybody go? And there's one old lady out there in the audience that goes, you're still my favorite. And he's just like, gee, thanks. Some guy kicks him out on his butt, and he's like, Humdinger's canceled. Beat it, you humbum. You're all
That is
washed
rough.
up. So my humming is no good, huh? I'll hum for evil.
I'll hum for evil.
Superman's greatest villain who'll hum for evil.
Mm-hmm.
So the Humdinger turned to crime. And he shows up and goes, you called about a hum? And the woman's like, no, I didn't. Our TV's fine. And he just comes in anyway with his TV repair kit and starts like moving his fingers on the knob and goes, yeah, there's a really bad hum. And he starts humming. And then they're like, oh, it's so awful. But that's not our TV. That's you. And they're like, can you stop humming? And he's like, I'll stop if you give me $100. And the guy goes, here, take it. Just stop
This
humming.
is his evil plan. He goes from house to house and hums real hard, and they give him $100.
And the guy goes, here, take it. Just stop humming. And as soon as he leaves, he goes, what an easy way to get rich. But in his defense, the guy comes out and goes, stop, thief. We've been robbed, which is a lie.
That is a lie. That's exactly what I was going to say. He's telling Spider-Man a lie here because he's saying a horrible Hummer stole my money. But that's not what happened. You could have just punched the Hummer right in his Hummer. But instead, you said, here, take the money and get out. And by the way, is that all in ones? Look how big that stack of money is.
It's 101.
It's 100 ones. It's $52 bills is what it is.
So, yeah, the guy lies. The guy, he doesn't tell him that I paid it to him to get him to quit humming. Which is like, still, you could kind of complain, like, the dude
It's a
was
service.
annoying and, like, I'm
You
going to
didn't
call
like
the
it,
cops.
but it's a service.
But he lies and goes, he stole our money. And Spider-Man, on that false premise, hunts him down then. So then, here's the thing. So the humdinger.
Why is he always lit so dramatically?
The humdinger does because he's very evil.
He's got this yellow light that follows him around. That is weird.
So he grabs the radio from this kid and he goes, "Oh, your radio's broke. I'll fix it." And he's like, "No, it's not. It's brand new." And he starts humming again. He's like, "Oh, stop. He's like, "Oh, looks like your radio's broken, but it's a bargain, kid. I'll fix it for $20."
This is only $20.
And the kid's like, "Sure, whatever." And he hands him the $20 and he doesn't give him the radio back.
What
So
was
this is
$20
crime
back
now.
then? You said this was 75?
77 at this point.
77. Okay. So I would be very interested as to what $20 is in 1977.
So the humdinger hums and Spider-Man like covers his ears and he's like, "I can't take it." And he turns to run away and Spider-Man shoots his web at him and stops him and he goes, "Nope, time for you to hum a different tune." And they get the money back and Spider-Man gives the $100 back to the couple and the 20 back to the kid and goes, "Your humming days are over, pal." And he goes, "Bah humbug." The end. Here's the thing though, Mike. Why is he not just humming through the net to get them to like pay him the money back to get him to stop humming? Or he's like, "Let me out of the web, Spider-Man," for him to get away.
$20 was $105.54
So how much was
in today's money.
So how much was 100? So you
So
it's $500 bucks.
Yeah, it's $500 he got from this couple
Yeah.
because he hummed too loud. Well, I got to tell you this right now. If somebody comes in my house forcibly and decides to hum at me
Yeah.
until I give them money,
You're gonna.
I'm going to hit them with something. I'm not going to give them money.
You're not gonna yell at Spider-Man and tell him that.
Spider-Man, he
Burt
stole my
Reynolds.
money. Wait a minute. There's a real Spider-Man? That's the first thing I would ask. And then on top of that, I would be
You
like,
mean it?
"It's $500, huh?"
You mean it? There's a real Spider-Man.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, like if that happened, number one, I'd be aghast that
I guessed.
there was an actual Spider-Man. Yeah, I don't like the Hummer. I didn't like his lighting.
There's so
I thought
many
it was too
jokes I can
dramatic.
make from that, and we stayed away from all of them. I'm proud of ourselves.
Yeah.
Us. Anyway, that was some Spidey Super Stories and some introductions, some Spider-Man villains you didn't know about.
I feel like I ate a real heavy meal or something, like it just sticks with you for a while.
I just think they're ridiculous and they're
they're
funny,
super ridiculous,
and that's
yeah.
why they're good for us. But
I also understand why my generation had issues. This was what we had right here. This was it.
the Hummer,
It's all Stigmac Billabow's fault,
The
or whatever
thumper.
that guy was that stayed around for 6 issues.
thick. What?
Stigmac Billow?
Winslow Mortimer did all the
Winslow-
art for it.
Winslow Mortimer.
Win
These are
Mortimer.
not real names.
Yeah, they are. Win Mortimer is a real name,
Yeah, it's
dude.
not
You
a
want to
real
know
name.
how much I'm about to shock you.
Winslow Mortimer sounds like a guy
That's-
that worked in the elf shop at Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer
Let me-
claymation special.
Let me tell you this, okay? I'm gonna educate
Is
you
that his
about
picture?
Yeah, that's Winslow Mortimer. He was born in 1919 on May 1st. His birthday was almost about to be soon.
Uh-huh. He invented the rubber band.
He is from Ontario.
Oh, there it is.
Okay. He passed away in 1998. He worked
Canadians.
for Marvel, Curtis Magazine, DC, Gold
Curtis
Key,
Magazine?
and Murray Comics.
What the hell is Curtis?
He was a
Magazine?
penciler. He colored once. He
Colored once.
I mean, like credited, not
I like
the actual-
unicorns.
8 covers. He worked on 8 covers.
Okay, they were all
I'm gonna-
Spidey, but sure.
They were they're Night Nurse. He worked on
Oh, this
issues
is the
of
whole
Night
Night
Nurse.
Nurse team.
He worked on Curtis Connor's cover. Oh, he worked on a Spidey Super Story and
Mhm.
My Love. Those were the covers he did. But he worked on like 100 and something other things. 205. Sorry, not 100 something.
And people wonder why comics crashed once before.
I'm trying to figure out his work. 205 things that he did. So he had some work.
Don't you think, though, ultimately they were embarrassed by this?
No.
You don't think so?
No, Mike.
The Hummer. They weren't embarrassed by that.
Okay. When you put it like that, maybe. I was thinking about being like, oh, I had stories that appeared in Spidey Super Stories. That's
Yeah.
not. If I got anything published.
No, I mean,
I mean,
hopefully,
I'm going to.
you wouldn't write anything called the Hummer.
No, but I mean, if that's what it took, I'd do it. Marvel.
you?
Marvel, do you need me to write a story about
Hummer 2.
Electric Boogaloo? This time it's personal.
This time it's
This is
personal.
the most
That's right.
personal hum. No.
That's the most personal hum you've ever gotten.
That's it. That's Spidey Super Stories. That's the coterie of
sloppy
Spider-Man
home
villains
that
we have
was.
for that. Yeah. Thank you guys for listening and taking the time out to listen to that. Coming up on Wednesday this week, we have, as we're continuing our Batman stories, we have Jungle Batman, Mike.
Jungle Batman.
We're going to get into on our World's Finest Wednesday. Thank you guys for taking the time out to watch and listen. As always,
Those are
make sure
jungle drums.
to check out Rogue Media Network and all the great podcasts on the family of podcasts there.
RogueMediaNetwork.com.
And until next time, as I should have gotten the close ready for us, until next time, stay safe, everybody.
Hey, Galicon Hummer.
Frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.